Morena, tēnā koutou katoa. Good morning everyone, and welcome to Ryman Healthcare's half-year results presentation. My name's David Kerr, I'm Chairman of Ryman Healthcare. To my right we have Gordy McLeod, our Chief Executive, and beyond Gordy sits David Bennett, our Chief Financial Officer. So thanks to everyone who's made it along this morning, and welcome to anyone who's watching live. This morning's format is some initial comments from myself on our progress and activities, and then I'm going to be followed by presentations, firstly from Gordy and then by David. Gordy's going to give you his perspective or analysis of the first 6 months, and David will then give you some greater detail on our financial results. At the end of the presentation, we want to open the session up for some questions from the floor, and following that we'll take questions from any callers who are on the conference call line. So we'll bring a microphone round to those of you in the room so that you're easily heard in the room, but also it's important that people on the webcast can hear you clearly. For those of you who are listening on the phone conference, the operator will advise you when you can ask a question, and we anticipate wrapping up 10:45, 10:50, something like that. So the first half headline numbers were: the unaudited underlying profit was $103 million, up 6.2%. The reported, or IFRS profit, which includes the unrealised fair value gains on our investment property, rose 11.1% to $188.3 million. Our full-year underlying profit, which of course reflects our trading and is used to determine our dividend, is expected to be in the range of $250 million to $265 million. That reflects a range of between 10% and 17%. Our medium-term target, as we've often advised, remains to double our underlying profit every 5 years. That translates to increasing our underlying profit by approximately 15% per annum. This target's unchanged and is, we believe, achievable. The half-year dividend has been lifted to 11.5 cents per share, in line with the growth of the underlying profit, with payment on December 13th and a record date of December 6, 2019. Operating cash flows increased a pleasing 17.6% to $256.1 million. Our total assets climbed by 17.4% to $7.26 billion, which gives us a very strong financial base to support what we aim to achieve in retirement living and aged care provision. The first half result has been achieved against a background of pretty tough market conditions in Melbourne and Auckland, so we're satisfied with what's been achieved. The growth in the underlying profit was driven by record resales volumes. In New Zealand, the resales volumes increased by 11.3%, while volumes in the wider New Zealand market actually declined by 15%, which demonstrates the continued appeal of a Ryman village. High occupancy of 97% in our established care centres and low resale stock show our villages continue to be in strong demand. And this is a credit to our team and the kindness and professionalism that they bring to their roles each and every day. As previously signalled, our construction completions are weighted towards the second half. As with all companies, there are some things we can control, like the villages we build, the environment we create for people within the village, and the care that we provide in our care facilities. We continue to build beautiful villages, and we strive to provide the best of care. And we've made further improvements to the way we do both of those during the half. One of the challenges we've had in this half has been the complexity of some of our construction sites and the associated delivery of units, as well as the absolute commitment we have to completing our care centres without delay to meet the promise that we make to our residents that care will be provided. This means the care centres will take priority in the build program. We've had 3 large care centres under construction during the half, which are complex, capital-intensive builds with no immediate recycling of the capital, such as occurs with apartment dwellings. However, they're also great assets, and they're the powerhouse of our offering, that we will provide care. And then there are the things we can't control, like the housing market. We've been through many housing cycles over the past 35 years, and so we sort of know what to expect. We've always continued to build throughout the cycle, so when the market returns to health, we can capitalise on it. We hold our nerve and we keep going. The good news is that we can see some signs of a return to confidence in the housing market in both Victoria and here in Auckland, and we're expecting that momentum to build. We're expecting a much stronger second half as the build program lifts. The board and the management team believe we have a lot of momentum building as we head through to March and beyond. We've learned it's important to keep the flywheel of this business turning, and Gordy's going to describe to you what that momentum looks like both here in New Zealand and in Victoria. We need to be in a strong financial position to support our ambitions to constantly improve what we do, to give our residents confidence in our ability to endure and to continue to grow to meet the demand that we see ahead. And to that end, our balance sheet strengthened further during the half, with total assets surpassing the $7 billion mark. I'd like to take a little time to talk to you about the highlights relating to care from where I sit, before Gordy takes you through his review of our momentum and what he sees ahead. So as you've heard me say before, we are a care company. Our fundamental purpose is to care for our residents as well as we possibly can. To do this, we must constantly innovate to improve the experience that our residents have, whether they're in care or whether they're living independently. We must work hard to ensure that the team who deliver that care have both the skills and the resources they need to do a great job, and also that they love the experience of being part of the Ryman family. Our focus on excellence in care continued in the half, and 84% of our care centres now have 4-year Ministry of Health accreditation, compared to an average of 47% among the large operators in the sector. An example of our commitment to investing in care is a program of work we've named My Ryman Life. The My Ryman Life model of dementia care is designed to challenge and change the perspectives on dementia commonly held by staff, by residents and their families. Our aim is to build a supportive and understanding community network by demystifying dementia, which supports our residents to live life in the moment, feeling valued and understood, and to give them a sense of contentment. We have more than 800 dementia care beds and another 685 beds planned, which is a huge commitment to dementia care. Making sure our care and consideration of the needs of these people and their families is the best it possibly can is what My Ryman Life is all about. The project's been masterminded by Karen Lake, our operations clinical and quality manager, who spent more than a year interviewing residents with dementia, their families, talking to specialist designers and experts around the world, as well as our own teams. We brought everyone together from across Ryman, from architects and builders, through to clinicians, contractors, to reconsider how we could improve dementia care and dementia design. The program's being introduced through a range of education resources to educate all the staff, the residents and their families, using up-to-date research-based methods which centre around our core philosophy of kindness. More than 1,400 staff and 500 residents and family supporters have already been trained in the principles of My Ryman Life. What's been striking is the level of support and interest from families in the project. They've been coming along to the information sessions in large numbers, which reflects that we're all on the same team and working to provide the best caring environment we can. We've also been working with the Otago Polytechnic to develop our new dementia learning modules, and so they will be recognised by the New Zealand Qualifications Authority. So we've challenged the way we design our dementia units. Our latest unit at Murray Helberg Village here in Auckland, for example, includes an area where residents with dementia can help prepare food and cook. You mightn't regard me as a man who gets excited about doors, but I want to share this slide with you. It's an example of our new doors for each resident's room in the care unit at Murray Helberg. We're trialling the door skins on 20 rooms. They individualise each person's room as their home. And as you can see, they're all quite pretty distinctive. It aims to save confusion over where each resident lives, making them highly distinctive and personalised. My Ryman Life plays to our strengths as a vertically integrated company. Clinicians like Karen can talk directly to the architects, the interior designers, so that an idea today can be translated into a design and fed straight through to the builders. We're agile, we can innovate and change directly. To me, being agile is the same as being intensely customer focused, and to be aiming to meet all our customers' expectations and to be very clear about our purpose as a company. My Ryman Life is also an example of what a truly integrated company we have become. When we want to prove something, we can pull people from every part of the business whose work touches a part of the process, and they work together to make that change. It reflects that we are a holistic company. We're a care company, we're a design and construction company, we're a technology company, and we're a property company as well. We can combine all of those different parts of the business to achieve our goal of caring for people. And it's clear that the whole is much greater than the sum of the parts. That defines a holistic approach. So I believe initiatives such as My Ryman Life will serve our residents well and ensure that our staff are prepared to go the extra mile, and that's a behaviour I see so often when I'm visiting villages. We've been providing dementia care for more than 20 years now, and demand for our services is growing fast. Combining all our skills using financial, human and social capitals and our resourcefulness to tackle dementia is part of our social license. There are currently 70,000 New Zealanders living with dementia, which will grow to 170,000 by 2050. In Victoria, the numbers are even greater, of course. There are 104,000 people living with dementia currently, and that's going to grow to 280,000 over the next 30 years. By 2058, there will be more than 1 million Australians with dementia, which is a pretty sobering number. So we asked ourselves, what else could we do to help? And we've signed up as Alzheimer's New Zealand's lead partner for the next 3 years, and more than 1,200 of our staff have signed up to become dementia friends. We've entered the Alzheimer's New Zealand Dementia Friendly program. We did all of this because we back Alzheimer's New Zealand's mission, which is to combat stigma and to change hearts and minds about dementia. The other clinical care area I want to touch on is our Medications Advisory Committee, which brings in outside brains to work with our senior clinicians and then to advise our prescribers, be they general practitioners or nurse practitioners, on what's the latest research advice on the value proposition of different medicines in our resident population. This committee, you can see the list of people who are involved, but it's chaired by an experienced pharmacist, Alex DeRue, includes Professor Richard Sainsbury, and Bill Allen from the Health Quality and Safety Commission. It's a lively group, and the aim is to close the loop on the way drugs are prescribed and improve the health outcomes for the residents as a consequence. From early next year, we'll be taking My Ryman to the next level with the addition of our general practitioners into the system. We've created a GP login, which means that the doctors will be able to work directly in our system for the first time, eliminating the double handling and the paper-based notes. They'll be able to view all our notes and add and update their own notes. It'll cut out the double handling that comes with working in two systems, which is so dangerous. I recall not so long ago proceeding around a rest home with a large trolley in my wake with case notes this high piled on the top of it. With My Ryman, all a doctor needs is a stethoscope and a device. No one needs to try and read our handwriting anymore. So while that might sound easy in theory, there are lots of problems to solve, not least around privacy, security of patient notes, reliability of the system, but getting it up and running and proven has taken a lot of hard work, and we're nearly there now. All of this means we can spend more time with the patients, and we know our GPs are really excited about that change. Another area where we're looking to improve what we do is with Ryman Delight, which we're trialling in 4 villages currently. Ryman Delight's aiming at providing additional activities which the residents choose based on their interests, in addition to the wide range of activities that we already provide. The trial at each village is being run by a concierge who arrange trips to the theatre, concerts, sporting events, etc., as well as weekends away. In addition, we've introduced village hosts in the evenings at some of our larger villages. The hosts provide bar snacks, arrange movies and other entertainment to make the village centres more of a destination for our residents and their friends and families in the evenings. We've introduced an e-cab service for the residents in 4 villages, and the low emission cabs have been in demand, completing 500 trips when last reporting. The low emission cabs are most popular here at Auckland, where residents, I think, love to get somebody else to tackle the traffic. So I've described these initiatives like My Ryman Life, our support of Alzheimer's New Zealand, Medication Advisory Service, Village Host Initiatives, and the Ryman Delight Project, because they're fundamentally investments that the company is making to further improve our residents' and their families' experience, with no immediate financial return, but very significant gains for our residents. These investments are core to our purpose. As a board, we regularly look at our skills matrix to make sure we have the right mix around the table. We've strengthened the team in the last 18 months with the addition of Jeff Cumming, who brings a wealth of international experience in both governance and executive roles, as well as an entrepreneurial background. Anthony Lees, who brings extensive experience in construction and development business to the table. And I'm delighted to advise today that we've appointed a new Melbourne-based director to the team, it's a photograph of her there, to strengthen our people capability and talent management skills. Paula Jeffs is a human resources exec with experience across healthcare, finance and government sectors. We're a high-growth business, and we know that finding and developing the right sort of people is going to be critical to our success. So she brings great insight into people and talent, and I'm sure she's going to be a great contributor. We're really very aware that the role of the board is not simply one of oversight, but that we need to bring specific competencies to the table to assist the company. Her recruitment means our board now has got a wealth of talent and an excellent mix of skills and diverse views which will see us into the future. Each of the board members is very aware of the importance of bringing both their specific skills to the table as well as a strong focus on maximising shareholder value. We have a busy next 6 months ahead of us, so my summary would be that we've had an adequate first half where we had very good care occupancy, good resales activity, record cash flows, but lower new sales than we'd hoped for during our build phase. But we plan to make up for this in the second half. We've invested $4 billion in building communities to date since the float and returned $860 million in dividends since 1999. We're moving into a record expansion phase in the next 18 months, but it's not growth for growth's sake. Our growth reflects the fact that we want to build as many communities as we can so that people can benefit from the Ryman experience, and we continue to invest in the residents' experience. My pleasure now to hand over to Gordy. Thank you.